I'm a history professor. Before anything else, I'm an educator. And one of the first platform planks that we put up, a policy position, was to bring back free tuition higher education in the state of California. Students should not be going into eternal debt in order to get an education. And for the record, I'm a historian, so I always process things through history. Malcolm actually also said of all of the fields of study, history is best positioned to reward our research. If you carefully study history, you're going to find something that if you just tweak it a little bit, it'll work in your time. So, lesson from history. We actually had free tuition public education in the state of California, and it wasn't that long ago. Right. Ronald Reagan is the one that got rid of it. And Ronald Reagan got rid of it. There are now surviving exchanges between Reagan and Nixon. And what Nixon said, literally in the aftermath of the rise of those Panthers, is that we risk bringing into being an educated proletariat, an educated working class that is going to not have the work that they're expecting, but they're going to have education that prepares them to overthrow the system. So Reagan literally getting rid of public education was designed to help produce the kind of political paralysis that we're now in. Also, Reagan was insanely racist. There's literally hot mic exchanges between Nixon and Reagan where there are African dignitaries that are visiting the White House and they're going back and forth with one another about how it's their first time ever wearing suits or shoes. Yeah, that bad. That bad. So, I mean, these are like hardcore committed white supremacists. Reagan got rid of public education because he didn't want black people to learn to read for free. That was basically why. And he feared a politically educated electorate. But free tuition higher education and getting rid of that student crisis, debt crisis in the state, that's not enough. We also need to untether our public school system from our local property taxes. As long as property taxes in any given district are supplying the funding for education in that district, then we are going to systematically reproduce racial and ethnic and regional and class divides. A lot of people born on third base and swear they hit a triple, right? They come up in an environment where they're given every educational advantage, and then all they have to do is walk home. You know, my mom drove me an hour from DC to Silver Spring, Maryland every day so that I could go to public school in Maryland rather than in DC. That shouldn't be. We subsidize crazy things with our tax dollars in the state of California. It would be very easy to just provide a level funding playing field so that every district gets the same resources to work with, and you cannot have social equality without educational equality. The last part of the answer to this question is that every single time philanthropic societies, and there's all kinds of problems with the NGO industrial complex, but every single time they're making prescriptive suggestions about the best way to spend money on development in so-called third world countries, they always point out that the best investment for every dollar is in education. Because the lifetime earning potential of all of the individuals that are educated when you invest in education, it's like an economic development motor for entire generations. The political morass that we're in now, the economic morass that we're in now, is a direct result of the divestment from education. So instead of giving the cops a blank check to like literally $1 billion of liability settlements just in 5 years, just from the LAPD, instead of giving them a blank check to buy new tanks and SWAT equipment, like less money for cops, more money for teachers. Yeah.